Hey everyone. So I often like to play devil's advocate and present an opposite point of view or different point of view from my original point of view, which is just as valid and just as true as the original point of view. In this particular case, I do a lot of videos where I do blind comparisons, and I always say blinds never lie, and that's what I really believe. And I recently did a blind of this Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit single barrel, 101 proof, with the Wild Turkey 101 8-year and the Wild Turkey 101, all different versions of the 101 proof. And out of that blind, I basically came to the conclusion that, yes, this was the best. This was second. The 101 was out of the blind right away. But I said that probably overall, this may be the best overall buy, because this is 39 in New Jersey, this is 61, and the 101 is 29. But on an overall basis, I thought this difference was closer. The 101 was a bigger difference. But the point is that, I was able to pick this out as the best, and they're very close. The overall, the differences are a lot smaller than maybe some other blinds. At the same time, I do believe that a really good way to get your true opinion on a particular bottle is make that particular bottle, that pour, make that your very first pour. Make sure you've had nothing else to eat, didn't brush your teeth, nothing else for some time, and you'll get what I feel will be your really true gut opinion about a particular bottle. I did that recently with this, the Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, after the blind on a separate day, and this was the first pour, and I was like, it really is good. I may have come off a little critical, not in terms of this bottle, but basically, I'm always also all about whether something's good or not, what's the best overall value? What's the best value for your money? And, of this, I kind of thought, since this is available next to the 101 right now, I don't know if it's going to be replacing it, but I thought for the $20 difference, this was certainly better than the 101. I thought this was closer to this, and maybe, I didn't think this necessarily was worth $20 more. Maybe it is. Also depends on the single barrel. This is a single barrel. Everyone can be different. But the point is, to sum up, is that these are both valid beliefs. I believe them both, and they can both coexist in the same space. I do believe blinds never lie. I believe this was the best in that blind, and everything I said about what's the best value. But if you're really, really want to get a real opinion just on one bottle, because what happens is when you do a blind like this, I find, especially if they're similar like this, sometimes whether you have water or not, kind of all melts together, and after a while, it's they get a little bit kind of blended. And certainly there's ones that are so different that you can tell them apart also. But in this case, I just kind of had this as a first pour. It was like, wow, that really is good. And the next one could be better. The next one may not be good because it's a single barrel. But point is, both opinions are true. Blinds never lie. You can really tell which bottle you prefer with no biases that way. And at the same time, focus on one bottle. Make it your first pour. You will truly get your real opinion on that one, because you have no food in your system, not in your system, but you have, you didn't eat something with the flavor from the food is going to be, kind of affecting your opinion on it. And I believe that is a really good way to do it. It's certainly proof for me, just on its own, even after doing the blind, that, this Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, this particular single barrel, is a real good one. But both opinions, blinds never lie. Doing blind comparisons and also focusing on one bottle as your first pour, both are very true and valid. Cheers.